Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Owoleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, thank you for joining us today, where we have Barrister Austin Manta, and I will be talking about the important topics of the moment that has to do with both current affairs and politics. Barrister, once again, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know Barrister Manta is a very senior legal practitioner of over 40 years. So he's an authority, it's an icon when it comes to interpreting interpreting the Constitution or the law. So yes, Barrister, let's start with what do we talk about now? Yes, okay. Let me play this video. It has to do with Peter Obi, and thereafter we'll come back to talk about the content.
But the big question here is, how do you know Bola Tinubu very well? Yeah. You know the APC as presently constituted. How do you want to defeat that tendency in our political climate at the moment in 2027?
Now, it is a very easy thing if people would yield to strategy and not sentiment. Give Bola Tinubu his own style, his own strategy, and he's back to Bodilon. What did Bola Tinubu do in 2015? He went to the north, picked a man that he knows that all the northerners are in support. As at that time, Bola Tinubu wanted to be president because he said it's his lifetime ambition. But he knew that if he, as a southerner, tries to take out an incumbent southerner, he will fail. Because nobody has succeeded from the same section of the president, incumbent, to take out an incumbent president. He went to the north and brought a man that he knew that all the northerners are supporting. And when he brought him, any combination from the south took out Jonathan, and he bided his own time, and he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be, my condition to the northerners, it must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an Atiku.
If the whole north is willing to support an Atiku, why not?
Or a Tambuwal.
If the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you.
But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari, at 4 years, if the case is the way you have put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in the rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking? Would that be a fair game?
Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify. The term of the president is 4 years, not 8 years. According to Alex Ekweme, what they agreed initially is that this post will be rotated amongst the geopolitical zones for 4-year term, and it will, in 24 years, it will have completed.
Barrister, you heard everything he said. Yes, that was Kenneth Okonkwo. Before I share my thoughts, what is your take on everything he said there?
Shoots himself and his own analysis of strategy.
Sorry, can you repeat that? The network was actually breaking. Can you start all over again?
I say what sometimes Kenneth overshoots himself in his strategy or his analysis of issues. I do not agree with his analysis. And there is one thing that you must understand. A lot of Southerners do not know much about the North. So when he's talking of the person that the whole North supports, he doesn't get it. Even when he referred to Tinubu picking somebody, that is Shetima, whom he said the whole North supported in 2023, he didn't get it. It's not as if the whole North supported Shetima. That was not it. Before 2023, Tinubu had come to the North in one of his going around to arrange his presidency. And he was very clear, he told them, and they told him that, well, if the presidency is going to the South after Buhari, our only condition is that the Southerner, first of all, you being a Muslim, you cannot choose a Northern Christian as your VP. If you do that, Northern Muslims are not going to support you. That was the condition he gave. They gave him, and they asked him about other parts, Southeast and some parts of Southwest, Christians in the Southwest. He said they should leave him with that. He knows how to take care of that. So that was the arrangement that was made before the primaries took place, and he's choosing Shetima. Shetima was not the most populous candidate in the North, but as long as he chose a Northern Muslim, the Northern Muslims were satisfied with it. It was a campaign in the North, and it became a Muslim issue of Muslim tickets, not who had popularity to be the deputy. Number two, when Okonkwo now says that he wants to support a Northern candidate that the whole North supports, he is again mistaken. The North is no longer what it used to be at independence, what it used to be in 1979. The North today is fragmented. The North today, I can tell you clearly that the North today is fragmented. The religious factor has eaten so deep in the North that the Northern Christians are doing their own thing. The Northern Muslims are doing their own thing. If today you bring an Atiku to contest for the presidency, I can assure you, for a good reason, a lot of, or nearly all the Northern Christians will support Tinubu. And that is where there are also some of the people in the South are mistaken. They think if you pick a Northern candidate, that Northern candidate will sweep all the Northern votes, and then the little votes you get from the South will take him to the president. That is a lie. That is false analysis. Today, Tinubu is in a better position, whomever he chooses to win, as long as he gets the South behind him. If he gets the Southwest, Southeast, South, all he needs for the North is a little vote, the Christian vote in parts of the North, and he will be home. If you do the analysis, this arrangement will be clear to you. Even if he chooses a Northern Christian again, Muslim again, if he is able to hold the South, the 3 zones of the South, he will still coast home to victory. So the arithmetic is not adding up in reality on the ground. The first analysis that the North will bring block votes is false in 2 respects. 1, the religious factor, and 2, no candidate can command the kind of vote that Buhari has been commanding. 12 million votes from the North. No candidate in the North today can command those kind of votes. How many votes did Atiku bring out in the last election? If you look at it from that angle, even from the North, there's nobody from the North who has the stature. Buhari became a court hero, with court following. In successive elections, he was bringing out 10 to 12 million votes. Who in the North can command that kind of votes? So when they are doing the analysis, they are still looking at those block votes that Buhari used to get, that is possible to get a Northerner to get those block votes. It's not possible anymore. So they should recalibrate. If the coalition must succeed, it must tackle most especially the South. And if they are not able to penetrate the South, depending on the northern votes, believe me, the coalition will not go anywhere.
All right. You are absolutely right. Honestly, you just nailed it. That's just the truth. Everything Kenneth Okonkwo said there is just gibberish, as far as I'm concerned. I am surprised he said all that. He's a very knowledgeable person, well informed. I am surprised he did that. He said all that is anyway. Should I say I'm surprised? Honestly, I'm not. To be sincere, I wasn't surprised when I heard him because I've known Kenneth Okonkwo over the years from distance. Actually, yes, we've had interaction on phone conversation. We've spent a long time on phone having conversation that has to do with some political issues or whatever. But knowing him from a distance, he's been a hypocrite. I remember how he praised Buhari's government then, those days, under APC. And so he's been a hypocritical person, especially politically. I don't know him personally. So politically, he's been hypocritical. So for him to come at this juncture to actually shoot his own fellow Igbo man, it's not even about tribal stuff, but being, just like you noted, being objective in your criticism, because I see him being selfish here. I see him probably seeking for something that has to do with himself, not Nigeria, because it doesn't make sense for you to talk about someone like Atiku. People are trying to use sledgehammer to hit Atiku's image down because he does not deserve. He doesn't deserve Nigeria's support. He does not deserve the government. He does not deserve whatever limelight that politics gives. He doesn't deserve it because he is a lazy politician, a politician who is not creative, who is dumb, who does not project, who just thinks about himself and today. No, anyone who wants to succeed politically cannot have such myopic disposition. That's just so. I think Kenneth Okonkwo is just playing to the gallery. I think he's just about the money. It's just about the gains, what he will get. That is just the reality, because obviously Peter Obi, even if you are on Peter Obi's scam, you're not getting anything personally. Nothing goes to you. So why not go with Atiku? That is not just a money bag, but a money bag with very open hand. Everybody knows Atiku is a very generous person. He just throws money around anyhow. So I think that is what he's just, because everything he said doesn't, honestly, all his projections and calculations he mentioned on that interview, honestly, it's just, even me, that I'm not that, when it comes to the Nigerian affairs, I am not that grounded in core information. I faulted when I heard that. I faulted that, and that is just the reality. The North is so dynamic now, and he knows. He's only trying to. He knows that everything he said. I'm very sure he knows that everything he said is just gibberish. He's just trying to trying to cook up an excuse to the public, to give the public excuse for him to actually support someone for his personal gains, so that people will not deduce any selfish interest there. That is just the reality. Honestly, yes, I don't know the Atiku angle. I don't even know. Anyway, we'll be talking about Atiku more because he seemed to be getting support. Now, Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a very eloquent and charismatic speaker and public analyst, there's no doubt Kenneth Okonkwo has his own influence, not that big influence, but at least he has his own influence because he can speak. And we have Dele Momodu too coming out to support Atiku. Atiku seems to be gaining steam, sort of, with some people coming out to really support him.
It's because of this wrong calculation and wrong analysis that is driving people like Kenneth Okonkwo, Tele Momodu to Atiku camp. That same false analysis. What should be happening now if they were to sit and put their proper thinking cap? What should be happening now is for them and for the southern elements of the coalition to push their northern counterparts to line up behind the candidate from the southeast.
Yes.
The reason why I say this is this. In 2023, you know the politics of Nigeria that dwell on the tripod of Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo.
Yeah.
How the northern establishment has been manipulating the south, manipulating the Igbos and the Yorubas, pitching them against each other so that they can continue to dominate. An opportunity came in 2023 for that thing to be put apart. But what happened? The greed of the Yorubas took over with the active connivance of the northern establishment so as to perpetuate the division between the southeast and the southwest. It was deliberate. If you say the presidency should rotate between north and south,
yes,
and Obasanjo did 8 years, he came to the north, Buhari did 8 years. If he's going to the south, there should be no argument that he should go to the southeast, because the south had even had 6 years of Jonathan. There should have been no argument that the presidency going back to the southeast should go to, going back to the south should go to the southeast. If for nothing, for purposes of national stability and building a nation. But what happened? They actively encouraged the Yorubas to take back the presidency, pitting them against the Igbos, so that that conflict will perpetuate for as long as they can take it. If the Yorubas had known or were more thinking properly, they would have said, no, we have had our turn. As far as the South is concerned, we have had our turn. Let the Igbos take. That enmity would have been overcome at that point permanently. There will be no dispute between Igbos and Yorubas politically anymore. But no, with the active connivance of the northern establishment, the Yorubas stood and took that presidency. So perpetuating the disunity and enmity between the southeast and the southwest.
Yeah.
Now the opportunity has come again. It's coming in 2027 with the disillusionment of the same northern establishment with what they sold. Now, if you are a right-thinking person, this is the time to chart a course forward. The southeast and the other southern establishment should press their northern counterparts to support an Igbo candidate. And Obi has said he will do 4 years. So they have no fear that another southern candidate would compromise the presidency coming to the north. It will still be the 8 years, and the presidency will return to them. That enmity will also have reduced considerably. But no, the same people, instead of thinking like this is the pathway for us to get the presidency, they are giving it up without a fight.
Honestly.
Without getting anything in return.
Honestly.
There are the people now clamoring for Atiku. What are they getting in return? Ask them. Ask Kenneth Okonkwo, he's clamoring for Atiku. What is there for the Igbos? Nothing. What are they going to get? You
like
have to negotiate.
Honestly, like I said earlier, Kenneth Okonkwo is just about himself. Honestly, he's just about himself, because everything, his analogy, everything, his analysis does not make sense to me. What are you talking about? Why are you bringing 4 years? Everybody have always known this have been the pattern from the beginning. It has been 8 years, because when you become president, you want to rule for the next, you want to recontest, whatever. Now he's talking about 4 years, for God's sake. If not, the power should go to the north. What this guy is just I just consider him a political prostitute. That's just it.